Haskell, backwards Haskell. This is our golf cry. Keep the good old game before you never let it die. Nah, 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 nah. Backwards Haskell, backwards Haskell. Fight for the dear old game. Fight, Indians, fight for Haskell's dear old game. You would think for an athlete it would seem playing a college sport is the American dream. The sport not important, you build a bond with your team. A non-traditional student athlete, some thought extreme. I achieved this honor with a T and a green. Painted my own picture, no nativity scene. When I was blazing trails, no Dame Dollar on my team. Ironically, Oregon tried to George Floyd me. I went Colin Kaepernick, took a knee on comedy. I don't chase tails, I'm independent like weeds. Had an itch to scratch, JUCO won't in my league. UNLV ain't quite understand me. Had to give the finger to KWC. Search the NAIA for a deeper meaning. Go to Fisk, said my inner slave. Haskell, said my inner brave. If I was still a baller, a Cali school with the waves. My wallet said Kentucky schools are Haskell, 'cause free health care they gave. After a 4-month-long process and finally got accepted, next day I called the coach, who started by saying he was stepping down after that spring. What? He then proceeded to tell me they might not have a coach for the upcoming fall and there might not be a program after the 2020 season. What the? Spoke to the AD, and she assured me they would have a coach by the fall's first tee. Midsummer, still no coach, had me a bit weary. In Vegas, still practicing, hopeful and believing. Some dreams come true. Mid-August, I was leaving. I-70 to Lawrence. Will they house me in a teepee? Chiggers welcome me, and mosquitoes with their stinging. Embrace that melting pot just south of 23rd Street. The roots of Jim Thorpe, where we all start to healing. Other black Indians on some yo, I'm not alone thing. An old black Indian golfer at the OG, they were laughing. I'm here to write my story, no second thoughts to what they thinking. Education's the easy part, through the classes I was breezing. Problems with the funds, back and forth the same 3 buildings. Some love their job, the rest like they DMVing, doing the minimum on some I'm here till 5 p.m.ing. Now back to the AD, who's on the teaming. Started with 4, maybe 5.5, and one never competed before. On the inside, I was laughing. We had to push on to help the young brave I was willing, like an 8-year-old who's got to protect their younger sibling. 1 became ineligible, 2 decided quitting. It was just me and Lane, no coach, no scheduling. I was alone and patient, and they kept us waiting. Then a major break came from the Haskell Foundation. The AD became the coach, now we're getting some rotation. 2 local pros helped, gave confidence and motivation. Booked a few matches, mentally I wasn't ready. The weight of the world turned my arms into spaghetti. My stomach felt like butterflies slept with termites on the Serengeti. Went from feeling like a G to a Haskell named Eddie. If that wasn't enough and you thought you'd feel better, comes a moment internally you experience true pressure. Dubstrat Golf Course, first time I really felt it. Me and Lane got paired up with a PGA Tours kid. As if my forearms weren't already feeling numb and frigid, the tour pro walked up to watch his son on number 6. His mom, then grandparents, like a gallery, no way. Now my goal, avoid hazards, just keep the ball in play. Lane knew he ain't bring his A game. I was lucky to have a swing that day. Made a few putts, tucked my tail in my chin and walked away. Knew things were improving, they'd see a 180 by May. Fall season ended in OKC, 38 degrees, wind and rain. Then the AD stepped down right after New Year's Day. I'm like, who's writing this script? Why are we dealing with this? Feeling lower than corpses instead of higher than wingtips. These funhouse mirrors Picasso'd me with silly hips. My Frida Kahlo deep in thought, merely trying to come to grips. Talk of canceling the program, and some were like, damn, we could compete with 2, this duo would do like it was NBA Jam. I played so poor if it was hoop, they'd be like, come get your mans. You can't run with tigers caged up eating Spam. I'm committed, I won't quit it. Me and Lane became fam. Don't like to reference totem poles, but we were less than. Golf was the armpits of our athletic program. If this was Hollywood, they cast Ashton Kutcher in a Jackson named Sam. Took our lumps in the fall, preparing for spring. We did yoga, shot hoop, came up with this fundraiser thing. Wrote a letter to ESPN, a cry for indigenous recruiting, thinking a week or two it could gain some traction. And I was in Stillwater the weekend it should have started trending. Then that copter crash carrying the son of Jelly Bean. My jaw dropped in awe. The next vision we not seeing. We don't understand yet. They say things happen for a reason. Spring schedule not set. Athletics don't know what to say. Back to no coach again, hoping for Florida in May. You begin to feel like you're running out of deep breaths. You're empty inside. Call it emotional death. Got a coach cleared before our first event. Dang, 2 days left. Monday, March 9th, first day of our spring break. Woke up to a downpour in 42. How much can one duo take? Grinding through 10, postpone after 11, for goodness sake. Start an hour early the next day to finish the last 7. Temp was 38. Right after the match, jumped in the whip to VA State. Hadn't seen my folks in years. It made me feel great. Then Friday, COVID became a thing. My life put on brakes. Lucky to get back to campus, quarantining is safe. Almost 4 weeks went by. Things seemed okay. An old driving range out back, so for me, I was straight. One day, the acting facilities manager got out of place. Ain't see a student athlete practicing. He saw my age and my race. Being passive aggressive instead of a man in my face. Escalating the situation turned social media disgrace. Leaving another school once again. Tucking my tail in my chin. Thinking education wasn't for me then. School paper editor said, hang on, my friend. Let me tell your story, a chance you're ruining. This war you could win, it begins with a pen. Media coverage wasn't enough to help my situation. Into the semester in good standing, chucked the deuce to education. Internship in summer school ruined, didn't plan summer vacation. Got contacted by a college with plans I could partake in. Muskogee, Oklahoma, my new golfing operation. I'm thinking backwards Haskell, on to the next reservation. Backwards Bacon is a story for another time and place, and saw the grass ain't always greener. As a golfer, I learned patience. Just a few more bars, thank you for listening and waiting. Kill the Indian, save the man was a boarding school saying. Do your Googles and fact checking before you say I'm hating. Onward and upward Haskell's slogan is truly degrading. Onward in this case used to reference assimilating. So let's go backwards. Before boarding schools created bastards. Before 1884, before slaves said master. Before a lost bus Columbined us and started blasting. Before fur trades and arts and craftsing. Before Indian humor, authentic to be laughing. The buffalo was Walmart, them arrows got to cracking.